Hi, Dr. Victor. I'm Kaiji. I'm going to start with an introduction first. Our company name is VG Consultancy. We established in 2000s. We provide services such as training acquisitions, training development, and etc. Also, we collaborate with world top companies such as Huawei and Top Glove. We strive to engage in the international markets. We aim to initiate long-term partnerships with our clients, also assist clients to achieve organizational goal by providing insightful and professional human resource advice. This is the board of members in our company. MTP program overview. So we collaborate with Foodpanda. We aim to develop trainees in multiple aspects of management. This program will be guided by Taniki and 8 professions from VG Consultancy. The program will be divided into 4 stages, included recruitment and selection, employee placement and rotations, employee training and development, employee assessment and evaluations. So the objective of the MTP is acquiring highly potential trainees to be able to fit into the organization, also enabling trainees to highlight their development opportunities and strengths. Lastly, it will be the MTP timeline.
So now I'll be going through the employee recruitment and selection. The multiple hurdle approach will be used as it eliminates candidates on each stage for those who do not score a specific level. This ensures that costs and time are minimized through the selection process. So here are the 4 stages: application and screening, questionnaire, group assessment, and individual interview. And these are the duration that would take place on each stage. So this is the cutoff number for each of the stage. And here are the predictors and criterion that the candidate needs to possess: communication skill, leadership skill, management skill, and decision-making skills. And these are the predictor for each of those criterion. So for stage number 1, application, the information of it can be found in Foodpanda website as well as the app and in JobStreet. So potential candidate can apply through those websites and submit their application and relevant documents which is stated. So for screening, only 50 candidates will be chosen for the next stage. And here is the selection criteria, which is 3.0 and above in CGPA, and preferably not to have more than 2 years of working experience and are involved in at least 2 extracurricular activities. So stage 2, questionnaire, which is the questionnaire. Successful candidate will be notified through email to further evaluate through 3 assessments, which assess their leadership skill, personality tests, and emotional intelligence. So for the procedure, the candidates are required to sign up on this website provided in the email, and if they fail to sign up within 3 days, they would be disqualified. And upon signing up, they will be required to complete the 3 online assessments, regardless of when they want to do it, as long as they can complete it within 2 weeks. So here's the 3 questionnaires that is being used, and this is the area that they will be assessed in. And here's the time limit and duration of each and every questionnaire. So for the DISC assessment, it assesses the leadership style. There is dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. And for the scoring, those who score a higher percentage in dominance and influence, they are known to be a better leader when it comes to being in the managerial position. And as for the MSCEIT, it measures how well people perform tasks and solve emotional problems. And here are the 4 branches of the emotional intelligence. So for the scoring of the MSCEIT, this is the diagram which is expected for the candidates to have. And for the CPI, it measures social communication and interpersonal behavior in 5 areas, as shown here. And for the scoring, the interpretation score could be classified as alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So to conclude stage 2, all of these 3 assessments will be taken into consideration, and only 30 candidates with the most desired combination will be selected to stage number 3. So for stage number 3 is group assessment. The candidate will be given different scenarios. At each of the group assessment are expected to present the result to the panel of assessors. So it's divided into 3 parts, and each of the part holds 25%, including the presentation. So this is the time slot for each and every group. And it is actually a 1-day program, so one group will take 1 day. And here's the timetable for the group assessment. Okay, so part 1, which is the in-basket testing, it places the candidate in a practical stimulated work situation in order to analyze their work behavior and attitudes. And it lasts for 90 minutes. And to evaluate them, they will be evaluated on these 4 competencies. And here is the marking scheme and scoring for it. And for part 2 is the role play, in which the candidate acts out a hypothetical scenario that resembles the situation that they might be in. And it lasts for 60 minutes. And for evaluation, they will be evaluated on these 5 competencies. And here is the marking scheme and the scoring for it. And part 3 is the leaderless group discussion presentation. And it will be carried out in a group of 6 candidates, and the duration is 45 minutes. And as for evaluation, 5 competencies from LGD and 4 criteria from the presentation is as shown here. And they would actually use 2 different marking schemes, the leaderless group decision behavioral checklist and the presentation rubrics. And here is the scoring for this stage. And only 20 candidates will be selected to pursue to the next stage, which is the individual interview. So each interview lasts for 1 hour, and candidates are required to pick a time slot, which is shown here. So they will be evaluated on 4 main skills, which is leadership, personality, interpersonal relationship, and work ethics. And each one of them is 25%. Okay, so first they need to score 12.5 or above on each and every main skill in order to proceed. If not, then they'll get eliminated. So when they proceed, this will be the formula used to calculate the scoring, and only the highest 12 would be chosen for the program, while the rest would be eliminated.
Hi Victor, I'm Gake, and I'm gonna continue with placement and rotation. Basically, placement happens right after the application and screening process, and it is to make sure that the right person is being chosen for the right position and to prevent misplacement. In the placement process, the candidate will also be well informed about the information of the MTP as well as the information of the organization to prevent misunderstanding happen. And the trainees will need to undergo job rotation throughout the training program. The job rotation will have 2 objectives, which is one of it emphasizing on enhancing the trainees' learning experience, and also strives for supervisor knowledge regarding the trainees. 12 qualified trainees will be assigned into 4 different groups, which is 3 persons in a group. Each group will be allocated to different departments accordingly. The department that are chosen for the program includes the Partner Management Services Department, Service Operation, Customer Relationship Management, as well as the Human Resource. The duration of groups to be trained in each department will be divided evenly, which is 6 months for each rotation. The first department is the Partners Management Service Department. And the main role of the departments is to manage and expand the relationship with existing restaurants by ensure the partners meet the operational and quality standards of Foodpanda. The department also responsible to identify new business opportunity as well. The department play an important role within the organization as it helped to diversify the product, which enable the organization business to grow. Also, it helped to acknowledge the current trend in the market and foresee the future demands. The objective of this department being chosen is to help the trainees to master the skills in liaising with partners to meet the needs of the organizations and partners. Also, it helps to enhance the trainees' understanding about the current trends of the market demands. The next department will be Services Operation Department. The role of the department focuses on the production services of organization and providing them directly to the customers. The department also involved in the responding and resolving customers' inquiry and complaints. Customers' inquiries or complaints are attended in order to ensure that the demand and customers' expectations are met. The departments need to address the problem that is raised by customer to ensure that the quality of service and reputation of the company are not compromised. Besides that, The department also assists in understanding the service need of the target customer, which help to make improvement of the service that provided to the customer. The objective of this department being chosen is to help the trainees to recognize the customer's expectation, also to give them an opportunity to develop some strategy to address the expectation and the possible issues which strengthen their critical thinking and problem solving skill. The following department will be the customer relationship management. The department functions to manage the interaction with current and potential customers by data collection and data analysis. Data collection will be made upon different channels such as transaction history, purchasing history, and so on. And the data collected will be analyzed and utilized to boost sales and retain customers by customizing the user's experience. The department actually play an important role in creating loyalty and customer retention as it bring the customer users experience to the next level. Also, it help to track the timing of each customer that is most likely to make an order, and the price can be adjusted according to the festive season. Also, it help to effectively manage and analyze data. The objective of this department being chosen is to help trainees to develop professional skills pertaining to anticipating and analyzing customers' trends and behavior. Also, it's allowed trainees to learn to communicate with customers through different channels. The last department that are chosen for the program is the Human Resource Department. The function included in the department is the recruitment, training and development, handling compensation, employee benefits, employee relations, as well as the legal responsibility. The department also help to ensure that the organization operates effectively by well managing the people within the organization. In the midst of being managed by supervisors, trainees themselves also need to learn the way to manage people, as it is one of the important prospects for a manager to be success. A successful human resource service will improve employees' morale as well as lower the rate of turnover, which is vital for an organization to operate smoothly and productively. The objective of trainees being assigned to these departments is to help them familiarize the operation of human resource management, as well as to help them enhance knowledge of trainees regarding to human resource such as labor law and technique of negotiation with employees.
For employee training and development, this is the training framework that we have developed for them, which includes orientation, general training, secondary training, and specific assignments. So for orientation, it will be given out on 28th of December 2020, and the main purpose is to let the newcomers to understand about the company's vision, mission, and objectives. It is also for the management level and trainees to communicate their expectations to each other. And it will also be a platform for the management level to introduce about the company and the management trainee program structures to all the trainees, so that the trainees they can actually expect about their future career development and what will be happening throughout the whole MTP program. And the main structure that we'll be covering under orientation will be on full day program as well as orientation kit. For full day program, it will be running on 28th of December 2020, and some of the main activities that will be included are welcoming speech from the management level of the companies, introduction of the company and MTP programs, brief department briefing, group division briefing, and a company tour, so that the trainees they can understand where they are going to work and who they should report to on the first day of their working. So the second structure that we'll be covering in orientation will be on orientation kit, which is a packet of items that will be given out to the trainees on the orientation day, and the information will be including practical documents of physical workplace, contracts and paperwork, management structure and team information, so that they know who are their supervisors and how they should contact their supervisors as well as their own team members. And it also includes logins and access information, as well as some of the personalized and welcome items for the trainees, so that they know they can feel that they are part of the team in the company. Next, we'll be moving on is on general training. This will be given out on the first month of MTP, which is on January 2021. So this will last for one whole month, which is until the last week of January 2021. So we'll be covering one structure per week because the structures that will include are on hard knowledge, soft skills, and attitude training. So the main purpose is to actually train them on these three items which will be needed by a manager. The hard knowledge training, the main purpose is to train them on the knowledge related to Foodpanda that they should know before they start working, and the components we include are some IT skills, Foodpanda internal processes, and meal delivery systems. All these will be covering under workshop and live lecture by the managers or the employees of Foodpanda. Soft skill training, on the other hand, the main purpose is to train them to become future manager one day. So the component that we'll be covering is on leadership and teamwork, conflict management, and diversity issue as well as harassment issues. This is the outline of the components that we'll be covering within 1 week. Moving on to attitude training, the main purpose is to improve their working attitude, and the components that we'll be covering is on mentality cultivation of outstanding employees, peak incentive, and reflection on the morbid workplace. This will be the outline of the components that we'll be covering in the 3rd week under attitude trainings. So after the general training, we'll be giving them secondary training as well, which will be given out on the 2nd and 3rd month of MTP, and it will be 1 day per week, which means in 1 week there will be one specific day that will be taken out specifically to train them on this secondary training. The main purpose is to actually expand on the general training because it will go in depth into the previously learned skill and will be teaching them on the new ones. So this will be the components that will be undergo by trainees when they are in this secondary training. So the skills that will be covering are stress management, time management, office politics and organizational psychology, public speaking, creative problem solving, non-verbal communication, negotiation, and office software trainings. All these will be conducted through workshops or online courses, which will be lasting from 45 minutes to 120 minutes. And for specific assignment, which will be the kind of last training for this MTP, it will be given out in the 2nd month of every new placement, which will be in line with the date that the secondary training will be given out. So the duration of this specific assignment will be on 4 to 5 months, and it is solely depending on the departments that they are working. The main purpose is to actually access their capabilities to complete specific tasks at work. So for HR department, the trainees they will undergo online course and develop training program for the employees. For CRM department, they will also have to undergo an online course and to design a marketing campaign for the product and service for the company. Well, for PMS department, they will be developing long-term business relationship with one new partner, and for service operation, they will be implementing a project to reduce and overcome problems in the work process of the company. So next we'll move to employee assessment and evaluation by Jiawen.
For employee assessment and evaluation, this chapter discusses about how the trainees' performance are going to be evaluated in every department. To avoid recency effect, trainees will be evaluated at 2 different periods, which are upon completion of assignments and upon the completion of training in the department. The whole assessment is 100%, which is divided into general training that contributes 20%, specific assignments 30%, and performance ratings by respective departments that contribute the remaining 50%. For the evaluation of general training, Kilpatrick model will be used to evaluate the trainees' performance and learning outcomes. So, supervisor will use graphic rating scale to assess trainees' knowledge application and overall performance. Besides, trainees will need to fill up an evaluation form regarding the effectiveness of the training. This is to ensure and improve the quality of our general training. The total score of the general training is 100% and it will be converted into 20% of the overall assessment. The first general training is hard knowledge training, which takes up 40%. In hard knowledge training, we assess trainees' IT skills, internal process management, delivery operation management, and time management. While second general training, which is soft skill training, also contributes 40%. In soft skill training, we test trainees' leadership skills, conflict management, and ethical construct. And the attitude training contributes 20%. We examine multiple aspects of the trainee's working attitude. The scores accumulated from 3 general training is divided by 100% and then times 20%. And it will then be the trainee's total score of general training. For the evaluation of specific assignments, the weightage of assignment scoring constitutes 30% of overall assessment. For the assignment in human resource, we will assess the participants' feedback in the content of training program, trainees' teamwork, and content development. For the assignment in customer relationship management, we will assess trainees' creativity, critical thinking skills, teamwork, and content development. While for the assignment in partner management service, we will assess trainees' delivery mode and style during presentation to supervisor, their analytical and critical thinking skills, teamwork, feedback from the partnership company about trainees' performance, and how much benefit does Foodpanda receive from the partnership program. Next, for the assignment of service operations department, we will assess trainees' analytical and critical skills, teamwork, strategic planning, and their budget planning skills. So the assignments from each department contributes 50%. Total score of all assignments from 4 departments will be 200%. The scores accumulated from all assignments is then divided by 200% and then times 30%. And that will be the trainee's overall score of specific assignment. Regarding the measurements of job performance, both objective performance criteria and subjective performance criteria will be included in the process of trainees' performance evaluation. Objective performance criteria include determining specific and quantifiable performance behavior, while subjective performance criteria can examine performance behavior that cannot be measured objectively in quantity. Both have their pros and cons. Hence, both evaluation method will be used at the same time to achieve a less biased performance evaluation. For the performance ratings, we included different sources of performance rating to prevent individual bias and halo effects. The score will be calculated over a total score of 100, but contribute 50% to the overall assessment. First, supervisor appraisal. It takes up 60% of overall performance rating. The rationale behind of having supervisor appraisal is because the trainees spend most of their time with the supervisor and co-supervisor. They must have the best knowledge about trainees' capability. To avoid bias, the weightage from supervisors is equally divided. Next, peer appraisal that contributes 10%. It is good to have peer appraisal because trainees are working in a team and they know their peers' performance, and so they can easily identify potential leaders too. To avoid bias and conflict among trainees, the appraisal will be anonymous and evaluators will be chosen randomly. There will be a co-worker appraisal that contributes 30% too. This is because co-workers are the ones who also work closely with the trainees. It can reduce the supervisor's personal bias towards certain trainees. To avoid bias in co-worker appraisal, it involves 2 workers which are 1 male and 1 female to prevent possible gender bias in the evaluation. Staff will be picked randomly too. Next, self-appraisal. There will be no carry marks for self-appraisal. The purpose of self-appraisal is to help trainees to gain insight about what they learn through the training program and allow them to reflect on their learning process. So for the qualifications to be employed, we will adopt the method of ranking. So trainees will be ranked according to their scores from 1st to 12th. There will be a cut-off point to determine the top 5 trainees. The one who scores the highest in the rank will be eligible for the position of general manager, while the 2nd to 5th will be eligible for the position of department manager. For the budget allocation, after considering and calculating for the resources used, we come up with a reasonable budget for this training program. So, DISC assessment used to recruit and select participants is 535 ringgit, while the emotional intelligence test costs about 225 ringgit and CPI costs about 385 ringgit. For training program, the online courses cost 3,600 ringgit. The programs developed cost about 42,000, while the skills training costs about 4,000 ringgit. The printing fees for the multiple evaluation forms used for assessment and evaluation process cost about 1,000 ringgit. Hence, the total budget for this MTP is 52,245 ringgit.